Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Kicking Tables. We are delighted to welcome Ian Zang, the creator of Please Fix the Teleporter. It's always important to have your teleporter working in proper order. Ian, welcome to the show. There it is.
Thank you very much for having me.
There it is.
It's
So,
like we did it right. Look at that.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Ian, welcome. Why don't you tell us what is Please Fix the Teleporter? It's a great name, and I think it
Thank
brings
you.
up all sorts of connotations.
So let's go one step behind. And Gravitation Games is my company. I formed it with Aaron Wilson. We designed Sovereign Skies together. Well, he designed Sovereign Skies, and then did a lot of development work on it and helped make it a better game than it was before. So it was in its published state. Like, we both went back and forth. It was a
Right.
great relationship that we had. And
So I think what you're saying is that the game is as good as it is because of you. I think that's what I'm hearing.
because of the two of us working together, bouncing
Oh,
ideas.
it's that mix.
I'm good at what I do, dang it. So it's self positivity. You gotta have that in the times of COVID. But we were sitting at a bar at a convention earlier before COVID, pre-COVID, and we were thinking, we should start a company. It's like that meme of the cat where it's just saying, I should buy a boat. It's about the same level of effort that we're trying to go into. But we formed Gravitation Games, which is this little logo right here.
Yes.
To fill a niche that we saw was a little bit lacking in the industry, and that is filler games that are as fun to watch as they are to play.
Okay.
And so there's a lot of games where it's a really great table presence, but if you were to walk up to that table, you'd be like, I know some of that, but that looks way too much. We wanted to create games that really hit hard without being too much of a barrier to entry. So you could literally step up, watch it, and be like, okay, cool, can I jump into the next round? I know what's going on.
Right.
So that's kind of where this game came from, the Please Fix the Teleporter. It originally was a Spongebob game.
Oh.
Yeah, it was. That's how I designed it, because as a designer, like, you take ideas from your environment, and I was, watching SpongeBob because SpongeBob's awesome. And, at the beginning of the SpongeBob episode of everyone where they're singing the theme song, and It's like, SpongeBob SquarePants, SpongeBob SquarePants. Right at the end, he, like, scrambles and comes back together.
Yes.
And scrambles and
Yes.
comes back
Yeah.
together.
Yes.
I was like, that's a game.
That's
And
nice.
so I created this little SpongeBob tile matching game where you had 4 quadrants of SpongeBob, and so hold on, let me see if I can pull this out here. So you had, if this was SpongeBob, they'd fit together like this,
Yep.
So, but the goal of the game was to scramble them up. So you have all different types of scrambles, and so you just have to match the scramble with your own personal set of tiles.
Okay.
And so it's a simple little tile matching game that is it takes about 5 minutes to play the entire game. You can learn it because all it is you put out one of these in the middle of the table, the scrambled card, and then everyone just needs to try to match that as fast as they can, and whoever does it first slaps it and checks. Did they get it right? Because sometimes it's not.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Because when you're trying to race, you make mistakes, and it's like, oh shoot, that stupid thing is side with the tentacles are the wrong way. No, and so it creates this wonderful little moment of franticness, and everyone can see exactly what's going on. If someone walked up, they'd know what they're getting into, and you can jump in and out. Someone, oh, I lost the game. Okay, I'll step out. You jump in, play a game. There we go. And it's something that fills in the space between games really well. And so we're focusing on this line of games that specifically fill that niche of super easy to learn, like almost to a point where you can watch it and be like, I know what's going on.
Right.
Let me just jump in.
It's really one of those kind of games you would pull out while you're waiting for everyone else to arrive for games night.
Right.
You got a big campaign planned, but not everyone's there. What can we play for the 10 minutes while we're waiting?
Exactly. Or alternately, for kids. I mean, you can play this
Yeah.
with any group of kids and be like, oh yeah, they know, they can get it. They understand
absolutely.
It's simple pattern matching. That's it.
Yeah.
But we have other games down the line that we have a party games line that we're going to be launching soon. Again, built on the idea that you don't need to know anything to start. You can literally sit down and say, here's a card, go.
That's
And
great.
you're right in the thick of it, and you're competitive as well. So
That's a very
it's a big
unique
focus.
concept, very unique a mission, I guess, for a games company is
Mhm.
games you can learn by watching. It's a very unique statement, and I love that.
Well, and also that pull people in.
Yes,
That's
for
the whole
sure.
thing of gravitation. It's like
That's right. The SpongeBob was your inspiration. That the SpongeBob coming back and putting himself back together. But the title is really kind of evokes those famous transporter malfunction episodes of every Star Trek that has ever had. One of the most famous, I think, really in my mind, was the Tuvix episode of Voyager, where Tuvok and Neelix were merged into a new creature.
two,
You know,
Nevox. No,
Tuvix.
Tuvix. That's
Tuvix,
right.
and
I had
and
the
so
other way around.
that's kind of what I think about this because you're essentially you've taken two different aliens and mashed them together, into our own new Tuvix. Is that kind of where you got the idea for the name and for the end result of the game itself? Because obviously it's not SpongeBob in the game itself.
No, I don't want to work with intellectual property as my first game.
Of course.
I'm fairly new to the publishing end, so I didn't want to dive into intellectual property contracts and that sort of stuff on my first game. So we when we made the decision that this would be the first game with Gravitation, Aaron came up with, he's a creative director at an ad agency, and he was like, oh, just let me throw together a list of names. And he came to me with like 20 that he just like, oh, I just threw these together. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. And so I was talking to my wife, and it's like, oh, Aaron sent me this list of things, and it was do you want me to read them to you? And she's like, oh yeah, sure, whatever.
Actually,
And
yes,
so
we want you to read them to us.
I don't know if I have that list anymore,
Okay.
but it was like, oh, spaceship scramble, and all these little things. And then we like number 7 was like, please fix the teleporter. My wife was like, stop, that's it, don't read anymore.
Yeah.
And the more that I thought about it, it just evoked, you knew exactly what you're getting into.
Oh, yeah.
Based on the name alone. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it is like, what this game is.
Yeah.
It's a malfunctioning teleporter. And then you look at the back of the box and you're like, oh, I know exactly how this is played.
Yes.
So there's not much to it. It's just simply, there it is. You're scrambling up aliens and seeing what you can do.
Yeah. Do you have any expansion plans? Like, can you add modular sets to this, like new aliens, new tiles that can come into this?
What I would like to do eventually, because I really like supporting artists I like supporting artists. Hard to stop. So what I'd really like to do is have alternate art for this game, like have different sets where you can kind of like pick the version you want. And and again, it's built for like if Nickelodeon wants a SpongeBob game, they can talk to me, be like, hey, you've got this thing that you've designed as a SpongeBob game originally, and you made it just something else, but we can make it SpongeBob again. Do you want to do that? I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do it. That'd be great.
During development, was the idea that it was always be 2 aliens? Did you ever think like, what if it were like 4 aliens and be a little bit more difficult? Because right now you have 4 tiles, and on each side is different parts of the alien. Was there any
the way that it works is on this side? I'm trying to center it here.
That's good.
So on this side, it's what is this? The upper right, the upper right hand, and on the back of it is the other alien, just the upper right.
Yes.
Okay.
So no matter what, it's always going to be the upper right. So if you're like trying to find where is the upper right tile, you can just find, oh, it's just on the back of this one.
Right.
And so every player has precisely this one set of things that fit together. One set of things that fit together. And so on one side of the tiles is the like Emperor Gorlax, which is, we came up with fun little Star Trek-y names, and Captain Gorf. But
Nice.
It's always just 2. We wanted to keep it simple. Again, the simpler it is, the easier the barrier to entry, the lower the barrier to entry is.
Sure.
And the way that it works is not really, it doesn't really work with more than 1 alien, without literally adding double the tiles.
Right.
We could make it more complicated by having the artist do 2 more sets of aliens, but then we'd have to have like a deluxe version that would have all 4 of those aliens scrambled, and again, it would get a little bit overwhelming for a lot of players. The appeal to this is that you have 4 tiles and you're just trying to fit them together faster than anyone else. And it's the same 4 tiles, and it's literally just flipping and reorienting so that it's in the right position. If you have to like, wait, hold on, which alien is this? It's like, then you're like, it's also a hunt and seek sort of thing instead of just like, I know these 4 things will be part of it.
Right.
It takes all, do you like doing puzzles? Like
absolutely.
Yeah.
What's the key thing to do first?
The borders.
Yeah.
The corners,
the outside edge.
Yeah.
Find the corners.
Yes.
So this is basically just that on crack.
Yeah.
That's right. Just find the corners and see how they fit together, and then you're good to go.
That's right. And you actually also have a single player, a solo mode.
Yes. So this is completely soloable. The way that it works is you just deal 6 of the, I think it might be 7. It's changed during development, but we had to get it to the right spot. But you have a certain number of cards that you need to do, and you say 1, 2, 3, go. You flip over the first card. You try to do it as fast as you can, and you flip over the next one, and then you see how long all of those, getting through the last one, how long did it take you? And then it's literally just a score.
Right.
So I've never gotten 5 stars, but I've come really close.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I've made it significantly hard, and we're going to be doing a speed run contest for anyone interested in doing that. So hopefully by the time that this podcast, or netcast, I don't know what this is technically called.
Webcast.
Webcast? I guess. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
By the time this webcast is live, we should have the demo available on the website.
Okay.
So Gravitation.Games, and just go to the Please Fix the Teleporter page. We'll have a demo. You can it's basically a print and play of the game itself, with some, but just not all of the cards, but enough so that you can play soloable. So you'll be able to go and you can submit your timings.
Oh, nice.
See how fast you can complete this, and
there you go.
The lowest person every month will win a copy of the game.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So that's gravitation.games. It's the website. And speaking of the website, you can go there and pre-order the game now.
You will be able to pre-order soon. We're still ironing out some of the details with distribution, so we want to make sure those are set in stone before we have any pre-order happening yet.
Okay. Do you have a target release date? Can you talk about that?
The target release date is hopefully by the end of 2020, but I don't know if you know, but COVID got things messed up.
What? Really? You don't say.
Yeah. So we're really hoping we can get this out by Christmas, but we hope that people will understand that if it doesn't happen, we're trying our best, and we're at the mercy of a global pandemic. So
yeah, for sure.
We're trying to bring the fun to everyone, but we're trying to do it safely as possible.
But for now, go do the print and play and enter that speed contest.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, we're looking for the high score, and we'll be tweeting out anyone who submits, and you'll need to submit a YouTube link of you actually running the game.
Thank you. I was just going to ask, how are you verifying this?
Yeah. So again, you need to videotape yourself playing through the speed run version of the game, and you need to be correct. So we will be watching for you to have the correct orientation.
Make sure there's no errors.
Yep. Yeah, you need to shuffle the cards before you do it on camera so that there's no stacking, so you can pre-memorize anything.
Right.
It has to be random. It has to be as quickly as you can, and then again, I've never beaten under 30 seconds, which is the 5-star, and so the lowest score I've gotten is 34 seconds, which is
wow.
That's ridiculously fast.
That's still fast.
Very fast to get through. What is it? I think it's 6 cards. Hold on. I should probably know this because, again, it's been.
Well, come on, Ian. You're only the creator of the game.
Yeah, I know. It's 6 cards. Yeah, so you have to get through 6 cards in under 30 seconds to score, to get the high score.
So 5 seconds per card.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow,
mm-hmm.
That's a good goal.
That includes flipping it and putting it together. So you have about a second to put everyone in the right position.
Yeah.
And if you get it wrong, it's punishing. but it's fun. It's a quick little thing that you can play, be done with it, and it's if you submit it, we'd love to see your videos, and shoot them to us. We're excited to get for people to get their hands on this.
Awesome.
All right. So post launch, your hopefully your Christmas timeline. Will this be available in just online in local game stores? Where
initially it will be available only online. We are a new company, so it's very difficult for a new company to get into distribution immediately. I'm already in talks with some people, but again, they want to see positive sales. So if you're watching this, we'd really like you to go order. Please fix the teleporter when you see this, so that we can show the distributors, no, we actually make good games. See, people want them. And also, this is a $15 price point. So it's,
nice.
Yeah, we're keeping things very affordable. Ideally, all of our speed games or light party games will be $20 or under. Like, it's one thing that I really want as part of this company is to keep accessibility in mind when designing the components, so that we don't go overboard with the cost, so that people can buy this at a reasonable price and still get a lot of value out of it.
And it's portable. It's small enough to be portable as well. Take it out, take it on your camping trip, take it wherever.
Exactly. I mean, honestly, like, here, I'll show you exactly what you can actually do. You don't need the box even. Oh no. Come here, tiles. This is all you need right here.
Okay, throw that in the bag and there you go.
Yeah.
Ziploc bag and you're good.
Ziploc bag and you're ready to go. So it's very portable. And again, that's something that we really like about our games, is that if you want to deconstruct them, they will be pretty portable. The second game that we have is a party game that will be incredibly portable. It's almost just a deck of cards, and that's all you need. I've played it around the campfire quite a bit.
Okay.
Is that the next project that's coming from Gravitation Games?
Yes.
Does it have a name yet, or is there a list of ones that your wife has to pick from still?
Code name Aloha Earth.
Aloha Earth. Okay.
Yeah, you play alien archaeologists who come to Earth millions of years after humans have long since killed themselves due to COVID. I don't know.
Due to COVID, that sounds about right.
And you find a bunch of these ancient artifacts, or pieces of paper or digital artifacts, or what have you, lying around. But all it is a bunch of word cards that you draw two word cards and you smash them together.
Oh.
So you get an artifact such as the triple vegan.
The triple vegan?
The triple vegan, or a reference to something called the triple vegan. And so you all take the role of an expert of human something. So expert of human religion, expert of human arts, expert of human sports, expert of human technology. So as the expert of human technology, what would be the
triple vegan?
Triple vegan?
Well, I don't even want to guess. My daughter's a vegan, and so I don't want to offend her. I don't know what a triple vegan. My goodness.
Well, what's great about this is that you don't need to know.
Yeah.
You don't need to know because the aliens don't know.
You just have to make it up
about history anyways.
Yeah, that's true.
We're humans. So this is a game about literally just making up whatever you want to. It gives you the freedom to mispronounce things. It's I'm sorry. It's actually the triple vegan.
Right.
I've seen this go off the rails. I mean, this one turned into. So I believe the triple vegan is one of my favorite ones, where the expert of food was like, "Oh, this is obviously a food-related thing." The single vegan was, the basic level where you only eat plant products, and then the double vegan is a step up where the plants had to be killed humanely because they had feelings too.
That's right.
And then the triple vegan was like, "Oh, humans are actually the problem," and so they started eating humans. And then the expert of human arts was like, "Oh, excuse me. There were some very famous movies made about this. I believe one, Dr. Hannibal Lecter, was a very famous triple vegan."
I was actually thinking more like it's actually because you said you can mispronounce them if you want, and so it's actually been mispronounced. It's not triple. The P is actually an F sound. It's the trifle vegan. And these were vegans that grew up only eating trifles. That was the only staple of their diet was trifles, and that was. But it's a common misconception that it's the P sound. It's actually an F sound.
There we go. And again, that's the freedom that you have with this game. It's something that I've really disliked about a lot of party games is that it's hard for people to kind of get into it because if they don't know what's going on, it's like I don't really know how to do anything with this. And what's great is that you don't have to really participate if you don't want to, but there's also a mechanic where there's two ways to play. You have the summit version where it's the stuffy scientific summit where like everyone's yes, do you mind if I interject, my good sir? And oh yes, sure, my esteemed colleague, I'd like to hear from the expert of human religion on this. And so that's the summit version where you kind of have a very freeform conversation.
Nice.
At the end of that, someone wins. You all vote for who you think is the best.
Who has the best?
But then that person then gets the artifact as a reward, but then gives a random card to someone who supported them. So you kind of want to help other people be successful in the game, which is really great. And you can earn points even if you're not really sure about your own. You can give like a softball idea off to someone and see how they take it. It's just great. It's a supportive storytelling game that just does a great job about the world building. You build this world as you go, and I still talk about the Triple Vegan a month after we played it, and I can't get enough of the game, and it's so fun to watch people engage with it. So we do have that summit, but we also have like the generic panel where 3 people convince the audience about what their ideas. So for those who want a little bit more structure, because we want to make sure that, again, the game is accessible, and people who that don't want to interject normally won't really like the summit, so they can play the panel version. So it's You can flip-flop between them, and it's, again, we're trying to keep it as accessible as possible to the audience, as many people as possible, so that if someone walks up, they can, again, join in right away. Oh, here, you're the expert of human arts. What is this?
Excellent. That sounds amazing. And of course, please fix the teleporter. Also very fun, very easy. Both games sound like they're going to be amazingly easy to play. And that's the goal of Gravitation Games. So right now, please fix the teleporter is your concentration.
Yep.
Appreciate you telling us all about the trifle vegan, because obviously that's what it is. So we kind of got a bonus episode here. We got both games, but gravitation.games. You can sign up to get more information there, and please fix the teleporter, hopefully out before Christmas. Ian, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely. You can also follow Gravitation at Grav Games on Twitter and basically everything else. And if you want to reach out to me and talk about board games, whatever you want, I'm at Ian Zang Design. So my name plus the word design is the Twitter handle. So nice. There you go.
Perfect. Ian, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks, Ian.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, guys.
You're like the black hole of games. You can pull everyone in.
Ooh.
The black hole seems bad.
Coming from a science background, I'm like,
a vacuum of fun. There you go. Vacuum of fun.
Hey, that still doesn't sound
wow. Yeah, you don't want your taglines to be "Our games suck." No, that's